In the kingdom of Eldwin, a merchant named Aldrich was strolling through the market when he noticed a piece of crimson cloth at one of the stalls. The fabric seemed to shimmer under the sunlight, its intricate patterns weaving into strange, serpentine designs. It was both beautiful and mysterious. "How much?" Aldrich asked the old woman tending the stall. "Not much," she said in a raspy voice.
"But beware. This fabric is more than it appears. It can shape destinies, but only the wise should wield it."
Aldrich chuckled.
Fairy tales to frighten the simple-minded. Just tell me the price.
The old woman leaned in closer, her dark eyes glinting. "The price is nothing compared to what it may cost you later. Are you sure you want it?" Aldrich hesitated for a moment, but then laughed off. He handed over the coins, dismissed her ominous words, and tucked the cloth under his arm. When he turned back to thank her, the woman was gone, as if she had vanished into thin air. Puzzled, but eager to work with the fine fabric, Aldrich returned home. That evening, in his modest workshop filled with the scent of wood and dye, he spread the fabric out and decided to transform it into a tapestry. As he ran his fingers over the smooth, crimson threads, he felt an odd warmth radiating from them. Shaking off his unease, he began to weave. But something strange happened. It felt as though his hands were no longer his own, guided by some unseen force. The threads seemed to come alive, creating vivid images. Towering castles bathed in sunlight, knights clashing swords in brutal battles, and dark, endless forests shrouded in mist. Aldrich worked deep into the night, unable to stop. When he finally stepped back to look at his work, a chill ran down his spine. The images were so lifelike, so precise, that it was as if they had been pulled straight from the world around him, or perhaps from somewhere else entirely. As the days turned into weeks, Aldrich became obsessed. He could think of nothing but the tapestry. Every time he sat down to weave, new images appeared, each more vivid and unsettling than the last. He lost track of time, barely eating or sleeping. The townsfolk began to talk. They whispered about Aldrich's strange behavior and his mysterious tapestry. Some claimed it foretold the future, while others insisted it was cursed. Soon, nobles from distant lands heard the rumors and traveled to Eldwin to see the tapestry for themselves. They were mesmerized by its beauty and the haunting stories it seemed to tell. Coins and offers of wealth poured in, but Aldrich refused to sell. He didn't know why, but he felt the tapestry had a purpose, and until it was finished, it could not leave his hands. Even King Edwin, a ruler known for his curiosity and ambition, heard the tales. Intrigued, he ordered his guards to summon Aldrich and his tapestry to the castle. "Show me your creation," the king commanded in the grand hall, his voice echoing off the stone walls. The room was filled with courtiers, knights, and advisors, all eager to see the legendary tapestry. With trembling hands, Aldrich unrolled the fabric. Gasps filled the air. The tapestry revealed a grand feast in the king's castle, the tables laden with food and wine. But as the images progressed, the mood darkened. The feast gave way to a scene of bloodshed. Knights battling in the castle halls, their armor stained red. At the end, a crown appeared, resting on a throne surrounded by shadows, smeared with blood. The king leaned forward, his eyes fixed on the crown. Is this a warning? Who will claim the blood-stained crown? He demanded. Aldrich's voice was barely a whisper. I don't know, Your Majesty. The tapestry weaves itself. I only follow where the threads lead me. The court erupted into murmurs. Some called it a prophecy, while others muttered about witchcraft. The king's advisor, Lord Beric, stepped forward, his expression grim. This is no ordinary craft. Merchant, what you've made here is dangerous. Something this powerful could bring ruin if it falls into the wrong hands. The king silenced the room with a wave of his hand. I will decide what is dangerous. Aldrich, you will finish this tapestry. I want to see what fate holds for my kingdom. That night, Lord Beric visited Aldrich in his workshop. The older man's face was pale, his eyes wary. Do you understand what you've done, merchant? You've created something that can twist the minds of men. This tapestry is a threat to the kingdom. I never meant any harm, Aldrich replied, his voice shaking. The fabric. It feels alive. I don't know how to stop. Beric stepped closer, his voice low and menacing. Then, destroy it. Burn it. Tear it apart. Bury it. Do whatever you must. If you don't, someone else will. And I doubt they'll spare your life in the process. Terrified, Aldrich waited until Beric left before attempting to destroy the tapestry. He threw it into the fire, but the flames didn't touch it. He tried to cut it with a blade, but the threads resisted, stronger than steel. Desperate, he returned to the market to find the old woman, but it was as if she had never existed. No one had seen her before or since. When he returned to his workshop, he found the king waiting for him, alone. Aldrich, the king said, his voice heavy with authority. I had a dream. I saw someone cloaked in crimson, holding a dagger above me. Finish the tapestry. I must know what it reveals. Aldrich worked through the night, his hands trembling with every thread he wove. By dawn, the tapestry was complete. The final image showed the throne room drenched in blood. The king lay lifeless on the ground. His crown toppled from his head. A shadowy figure loomed over him, placing the crown on their own head. At the next council meeting, the king was furious. This tapestry is cursed. It must be destroyed, he roared. Lord Beric, however, argued against it. Your Majesty, we cannot ignore what it shows. If this is the future, we must prepare for it. The court descended into chaos, voices rising as everyone argued over what should be done. Aldrich, sensing his time was running out, slipped away. The tapestry rolled tightly under his arm. He disappeared into the night, leaving the castle and its turmoil behind. Years later, no one knew what had become of Aldrich or the tapestry. Some said he had fled to the mountains, doomed to weave forever. Others whispered that the tapestry was hidden somewhere, waiting for someone brave or foolish enough to uncover its secrets. The truth, it lies within the threads of a tapestry, waiting for someone to unravel it. Dear listener, this story will continue in a future video. Thank you for listening.